Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
And we want to welcome all of His Glory Nation from east to west to north to south. Welcome to Tuesday with Clay Clark, Kingdom Building Businesses. So we want to really show the kingdom. Many people out there want to get their business to new heights, and that's what Clay is coming in to give you his services. All right, first, a couple quick updates, and we'll bring Clay on to make your business better. All right, Kingdom Energy, part of our Kingdom line. Everything is for the kingdom. $17 off right now. You can put that in any drink. You can put it into hydrogen water. Works the best. Next slide, you can see how this compares to literally formaldehyde in those drinks, Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar, compared to doing it naturally with vitamin C, B12, and it's less expensive. So get your Kingdom Energy today. Patriot Mobile, Christian and Patriot Mobile Service. It'll take any of the 3 big carriers. Right now, we have a special offer for His Glory Nation. When you sign up, you get a free month worth of service. So if you have a family of 5, you get all 5 lines free. So switch over today to Patriot Mobile. 90% of their customers save money than the big carriers because they put you in the right plan. So switch over today. They help Christians and patriots across the country. Your dollars matter. Purely Prepared Patriot, same way. 40% off. We went to them and said, can we get the best discount for the His Glory Nation? Excuse me. And they came back. Look at that. Hydroxychloroquine, Fenben, ivermectin without a prescription. Again, 40% off. No prescription. Get it today. Stock up. We had Dr. Stella on 2 weeks ago and said that a strain of COVID is hitting the United States. So when we don't fear, we get proactive. I took my ivermectin this morning. Prayer kits. This is Holy Week. The King of Kings, Lord of Hosts. You can take the stakes from north, south, east to west, your property with Bible references on there. Mama His Glory is giving the prayer. Anointing oil for your doors and windows. That is anointing oil from Bethlehem. Prayer shawl from Jerusalem. And the shofar. Remember, this Good Friday, I think we have 175 people going to blow the shofar together in multiple countries. So get your shofar ready to blow and send an email to info@hisglory.me to blow the shofar with us. And last, general tithing. Every donation that you make to His Glory helps us to get to 1 billion souls. Without you, we can't do it. We're doing it all for the kingdom and all 7 mountains to bring the glory of God for that 1 billion soul harvest. All right, those are the updates. It's time for Clay Clark.
And we're back. Dave.
He's back.
Now, Dave, what I wanted to do today is I want to put this in everybody's mind out there. I want everyone to write this down. I want everybody out there who owns a business to assume that I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm going to pull this up on the screen. This is going to be a profound teaching moment out there for somebody, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little story here. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, Dave, you're going to see thousands of clients that we've helped to grow their companies, thousands over the past 20 years. ThriveTimeShow.com. Look at these success stories, folks. We're talking about a janitorial service. We're talking about a healthcare business. We're talking about a window cleaning company. We're talking about a bakery. We're talking about BarbieCookies.com. We're talking about PapaGallos.com. We are talking about MoralesBrothers.net. They are a home remodeling company. We're talking about an attorney up there in New York. We're talking about a T-shirt and apparel design company right here in the Midwest. So many examples. But Dave, I want everybody to know this. This is action item number 1, thing to write down number 1. The time will never be just right. You must act now. So check out this success story, Dave. Dave, this is a client of ours who is the mother of Justin Wren. So Justin Wren is the famous MMA fighter. Justin Wren has been on Joe Rogan 6 times, and this is his mother who is a success story. Listen to her story. Here we go, folks. This is the Terry Wren success story. How long have you been doing sports photography / awards, that kind of thing?
25 years. So I went with Justin because at the time he was living in Oklahoma City, and he was a guest speaker at your conference, and I was with him, and that's when I met you and your team.
You were depressed because depressed. Suicidal thoughts I had for like 10 years. Just battled it from 13 years old, 23. And so that was a lot scarier to me than going.
Man, you had suicidal thoughts when you were 13.
Yeah, for sure. And I was one that, like, you know, the kid in the class that, I wouldn't say I was, how do I say it? It was extremely brutal, but it was happening to, everyone gets bullied for the most part.
But yeah, just the energy and the business information that you give is great. I'll tell you that at the actual time that I started, I was your client and you started coaching me. I was going through a divorce after 32 years of being married. I was not the business owner. I worked in the hospital for 15 years, and I was clueless. I was lost. So everything you said at the conference resonated with me, and I could tell that that's what I needed. I did not know how important numbers are, to know your numbers. I did not know how important systems are. So I learned all that, and yeah, it was great.
And, you know, as far as generating leads, are you seeing more leads online now than you were when you first met us at that conference? Or maybe you could describe the impact that the implementing what you've learned has had on the number of leads you generate?
So I had no idea about Google. So yes, we have actually we have so much business now with people Googling us and finding us. So we do the Marine Ball. So that's how they found us. That's an event.
Now, Dave, for sake of time, I just want to make sure we're understanding the profundity of what I just broke down. This is a woman whose son was on Joe Rogan, an MMA fighter, talking about his battle with addiction and how he found Christ. She just got divorced. She came with her son to our conference because her son was attending the conference. She says, "Hey, Clay, I'm going through a divorce. I make trophies for sports teams all over the country, Little League, baseball teams, volleyball teams, soccer teams. I have no idea how Google works. I don't know what I'm doing. My son's on Joe Rogan 6 times. I'm just got divorced. I don't know if now's a good time." Dave, we turned the woman's business into a multi-million-dollar success story. And everybody out there watching today's show, you got to know that there'll never be the right time to have success. I want to get your thoughts on that, Dave, because I think as Christians sometimes we forget that this is the day that the Lord has made, and we should rejoice and be glad in it. I think sometimes we think that a calendar has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and someday. Oh, yeah, I'll try to do that someday. Let me try to knock that out someday. I think as Christians, we're sometimes guilty of saying, someday I'll get that done, Dave.
Exactly. What if King David as a boy wouldn't take action that day against Goliath? What if Esther didn't take action to save the nation of Israel? We had to take action. It's important.
Now, you got to take action. I want everyone out there to assume I'm making this up. I want you to check out this case study. This is a real business owner, a real person. I think it's very wise for everybody out there to have a discernment about them, to say, I don't know, is this real? Is this a hologram? Is that woman just a model? Did you hire his mom as a model? Are you as shameless? Okay, so the website is absphotography.com. Dave, they're in Dallas, Texas now, but they service all over the country. A company that had been in business for over 20 years. This is a real client success story. So now let's unpack today's lesson. Okay, so today's lesson, Dave, we're teaching 5 moves. Every week I try to teach 5 moves. And today's lesson is the self-employed person's guide to not becoming homeless. All right, this is a self-employed. If you're self-employed and you don't want to become homeless, this is your guide. Step number 1, you must accept right now that your ideal and likely buyers don't know that you exist by default. Yes, your ideal and likely buyers don't know you exist by default. Dave, you came from corporate America. You understand business very well. Why is it important for us to recognize that by default, nobody knows that my haircut chain exists? Nobody knows that my trophy company exists. Nobody knows that my muffler repair company exists. Why do we have to know that, Dave?
You got to get the exposure out to everyone. You got to know your brand, what you do, and what values you bring to the people that need to buy your product. If you sit back in a quiet spot and don't reach out, nobody's going to reach you.
Dave, what is is there a number people can text in at His Glory if they want to partner with you guys? Is there a text in number for that at His Glory? Do you have like a text in or a website? If someone says, I want to learn more about partnering with His Glory, do you have like a website for that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's they can send an email to info@hisglory.me, info@hisglory.me.
I'm just saying that right now, because if you're watching this show, you might be saying, you know what? I love His Glory, and I want all of the world to hear about His Glory. And I maybe don't have my own broadcast. I don't have my own TV show, my own thing. But you know what? I want to sow $10 a month into His Glory. All you do is just email that info@hisglory.me. But again, you're not going to know that, folks, if I don't mention it, right? I'm not going to know it. You're not going to know it unless someone mentions it. So first off, if you're watching today's show, step number 1, know it, write it down. Your ideal and likely buyers do not know that you exist by default. Everybody out there, we have to know that. Step number 2, before we go into the commercial break, step number 2, you have to find a way to get in front of your ideal and likely buyers in a sustainable way. So how do you do that? Well, the His Glory Network, you guys get in front of people via Facebook, via Rumble, via the website, via live events. There's so many ways that you do that. And so at this point, His Glory, if you're sowing seeds into His Glory, you're just helping magnify what's been proven to work. But if you're watching today's show and you're a business owner, and you say, I do not know how to get in front of my ideal and likely buyers, guess what? You're not alone, and we're going to help you when we come back after the break. So if you want to join us, if you want to join Tim Tebow, myself, Eric Trump, again, if you want to join Eric Trump and Tim Tebow at one of our in-person workshops, go to thrivetimeshow.com, thrivetimeshow.com. We cap out the attendance at 300 people. You can name your price, $250 or whatever price you want to pay. Get those tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. And we come back after the break. We're going to teach you how to get in front of your ideal and likely buyers, 2 and 1, and
times are changing.
Silicon Valley Bank, they can talk about poor management. I know a lot has been said about that.
So all the stuff that they called us crazy about years ago is now all of it's coming true.
He said that there's instability everywhere. It's panning out today, certainly in the banking sector. For how long is anyone's guess?
I'm gonna probably pick up some more too, because I know it's happening and I feel it happening.
The reason I call it God's money is you can't fake it. You know, you can fake it with a fake ETF, like a gold ETF or a silver, which I don't touch because it smells as bad as the guys that printed that crap.
Starting March into April into May. So it's going to be crazy what's coming, and those that are prepared are just really going to be celebrating like they've never celebrated before.
You need to have those smaller coins to be able to barter with. Visit our partner, Beverly Hills Precious Metal Exchange, on His Glory Family Partners.
80% of people use CBD products for 3 reasons: anxiety, sleep, and pain.
If a product does not work, I do not promote it. But not only does this work, it has helped my sleep the last 2 months like I've never slept before.
We're just absolutely thrilled to announce this buy one, get one for the His Glory customers.
It's absolutely amazing. Everybody needs to use this.
Timing is always perfect. Clay hit the buzzer right at the perfect timing. How important is that, Clay, to be efficient in your timing?
I'll tell you what, I hadn't planned to talk about it, but time is the most important asset that we have. There's nothing more important than time. Time is our most important asset. And one thing that I really try to be mindful of, and I'm not saying I do it perfect, but anytime that we as a business owner or business person or person on the planet Earth, if we show up late for church or we show up late for a meeting, it typically is a way to unintentionally tell everybody that we don't respect them. And so it's a really tough deal if you are sincerely running late or behind. You almost have to immediately address the issue of, hey, I'm sorry I'm running behind, or hey, I'm sorry to waste your time, because time is our most important asset. You make more money, but you can't make more time. And that's why we make these shows super efficient. So move number 3 here, Dave, super important. You got to get in front of your ideal and likely buyers. Yes, but you have to solve their problem. So step number 1, write it down, folks. Know that your ideal and likely buyers do not know that you exist by default. Step number 2, you must get in front of your ideal and likely buyers in a sustainable way. Step number 3, you got to solve problems for your ideal and likely buyers. So let me tell you a story about one of your listeners. You have a listener based in the upper Midwest who I talked to last week. And they're a sincere person. They grew up in the Midwest, kind of where I was raised in Minnesota. And they have a wonderful product. And their product is incredible. And they just didn't know how to reach their ideal and likely buyers. So they went over to thrivetimeshow.com, and we had a 13-point assessment, and we're talking. And I said, how did you hear about us? And they said, Clay, one of our friends is a longtime client of yours, and they were telling us how their business has grown exponentially, and we've always grown word of mouth, and we recognize that we need to grow faster. And we sat down, Dave, and we went over a very diligent, very specific plan with these people. And I'll just let you know what they do. They remove trees from land. So if you have a land, you need to clear some dead trees. Maybe you have an easement going through your property. Maybe you're worried about burning or fires, so you want to remove dead tree limbs. They just didn't know how to do it. This is a true story. We're on the phone call for an hour. We did a follow-up call for another hour. They've already got multiple leads, and we've only talked to them twice. And they called me and said, we've already gotten 2 leads. I said, how are you getting 2 leads? They said, we were not findable on Google. We were not findable on the Apple Maps. We didn't know how to optimize on social media. We just did the moves. And already we got a couple leads. So that one call for that one listener will probably be worth a net actual profit of almost $10,000. So they went to thrivetimeshow.com. They scheduled a consultation. It took 2 hours of my time, and they've already generated $10,000. And that you say, how is that possible? So I'm going to show an example. I want everyone to go to Google right now, and we're going to go. Let's pretend we live in Joplin, Missouri, and we're looking to join a gym. We're in Joplin, Missouri. We're looking to own a gym. Well, who would you call? The first gym that comes up is colawfitness.com, longtime client of mine. Why aren't you going to call the companies on page 2? Folks, page 2 is like a dead zone. I mean, nobody goes to page 2. I go to page 2. If someone says, well, I use DuckDuckGo. Hey, so do I. But you know what? Over 90% of consumers use Google. So how do you get to the top? We'll teach you that at our in-person workshops. Another example, one of my clients, they sell pizzas. They're in Satellite Beach, let me spell it right, Satellite Beach, Florida. They actually have a pizza business, and they sell pizza in Satellite Beach, Florida. So if you're in Satellite Beach, Florida, you type in pizzas, guess who comes up top? Papa Gallo's. Why does Papa Gallo's come up top? Well, because we taught them how to do it. Now, Dave, once somebody knows what to do, one of the biggest challenges is being able to do it. And for any of our coaching clients, we will help you implement it. But if you're not a coaching client or you just want to come to our workshop, there are these 5 steps we all need to learn today. 1, you've got to ask yourself, who are your ideal and likely buyers, and do they know you exist? Probably not. If you're installing cabinets, you're a home remodeler, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, do your customers know you exist? Do your ideal and likely buyers know you exist? Step number 1. Step 2, how will you get in front of your ideal and likely buyers in a sustainable way? Step number 3, what problems will you solve for your ideal and likely buyers? Back to the pizzeria story, Dave. I'm talking to this couple, Dave and Trisha. They have a pizzeria. And Dave, do you like ice cream? I mean, we shouldn't like ice cream. Dr. Sherwood gets upset with us that we like ice cream, but I like ice cream. Do you like ice cream?
Luckily, I don't. I'm not a big ice cream guy.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, I'm talking to this client, and I said, hey, guys, they've been a client for like 8 years, by the way. I said, hey, do you guys like ice cream? They go, we kind of like ice cream. Why? I said, because there's people in Satellite Beach. Folks, picture it. They're walking down the beach, and they say, I want some ice cream. And so you know what we did, Dave? We turned their unused space into an ice cream shop. And Dave, guess what's happening? This pizzeria that's been around for 8 years, their phone is blowing up. People are walking in. Their traffic is next level. Why? Because now when people are on the beach looking for ice cream, they're finding Beaches and Cream, their newest brand. And you say, Clay, do you do anything else beyond search engine optimization? Oh, we do all of it. Now, once somebody shows up, you have to script the initial interaction. You've got to do the lights, the sound, the smells, the decor, the office build out. You have to make sure that the store is compelling, that it has a great retail. We do all that. We do all that. But again, nothing matters unless your ideal and likely buyers know you exist. Now, step number 4. You must develop a call to action to gain traction. So somebody out there today, you say, what? I'm saying if you watch today's show, it is my civic duty or my duty as a benevolent entrepreneur guy to tell you about the solutions that we provide at thrivetimeshow.com. We've got the interactive business workshops, the highest rated business workshops on the planet. We've got Eric Trump joining us. We got Tim Tebow joining us. And I am humbly asking you, I am passionately asking you, take action, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Why? Because I know that we have problems that you have that we can solve. I know you have problems that we can solve. Another example, His Glory. Dave, I know of lives that have been changed by His Glory Ministries. I don't want to exaggerate, Dave, but on the Reawaken Tour, didn't you guys baptize more than 1,000 people on the Reawaken Tour?
We baptized over 7,500 people.
There it is. So, and again, for anybody who goes to info or emails info@hisglory.me, guess what you're doing? You were part of that. You partnered with His Glory to change the lives of somebody out there. So we got baptized. So again, I don't feel bad about telling every single person watching this show to, if you feel like this broadcast has changed your life, His Glory. If you say, Clay, these His Glory broadcasts, the ones that you're not on, those ones changed my life, and you want to support the ministry, you just go to info@hisglory.me. And why am I saying that? It's a call to action, and you will never gain traction if you hint around or dance around the profound. What am I saying? You will never gain traction if you just hint around and dance around the profound. As an example, in my office, a wonderful member of our team happens to be we'll call it a same-sex married person, whatever that is. This is months ago. They pull me aside. They say, Clay, I've been reading the Bible. I said, you've been reading the Bible? They said, yeah. I said, wow, you've been reading the Bible? In my secular business, I said, you've been reading the Bible? Yeah. You go, I listen to your show sometimes. They said, I think the stuff in Daniel chapter 2 and Revelation chapter 16 is happening. I think that. I said, you do? They said, yeah. I said, what do you think I should do? This is a person who is married to someone of the same sex, okay, living in sin. And they go, what do you think? And I go, I think you need to get right with Jesus. and I believe it, and I know that you can accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior. I know you can. I know you can. And I know, and you've been working with me for years, and you know that I'm not going to discriminate. I'm not going to eliminate. I'm not going to unemploy you because of that. But you're asking me. I'm not asking you. So I'm telling you with great, profound boldness, not from me, but from this enthusiasm. You say, where does the word enthusiasm come from? Enthusiasm comes from the Greek word theos. You see, in Greek, the word theos means God. So enthusiasm means God within. So if you are struggling with confidence right now, let me help you with it. Confidence just means this. You confide in yourself that during this instance, you are simply doing what God has called you to do. That's what confidence means. You confide in yourself right now during this instance that you are doing what God has called you to do. So I have no reservations and no hesitation to tell people, email info@hisglory.me. I have no problem telling you, hey, go to papagallos.com. Call them for a reference. I don't care. Go to colawfitness.com. Call them for a reference. You say, why would you say that? Because I am so passionate about being able to help you. You say, why would you tell your employee about Jesus? Is that appropriate? Absolutely. You know why? Hell is hot, and all I've got is the word of God. And I just encourage somebody out there to be filled with a different level of boldness today. Somebody out there, you for some reason, and Dave, you've seen it, great people, great musicians, great doctors, great dentists, and whatever was going on, there's like a weird form of false self-deprecation, a false humility, not a sincere humbleness, but it's almost like a self-defeated attitude that's keeping you from making that call to action. Dave, I'm sure you've seen it before.
Yes, and we got to overcome that.
You got to overcome it. And I'm just encourage everybody out there, if you are working for Team Jesus, my thesis is you should have confidence that you are doing the right thing for the right people. Now, if you're solving problems that are ungodly, stop it. You know, if you're running a weed shop, stop doing it. If you're building a liquor store, stop it. Okay, don't plunder in exchange for supporting. Don't make your life like a reenactment of the Blues Brothers movie where they're running around scamming people to help support a charity or something. Don't do that. Final call to action is you have to measure what you treasure. Now, this is something big, okay? You have to measure what you treasure. So at the conferences, Dave, you know this, I know this, but most of your listeners don't. People always ask me after the Reawaken tour, they'd say, Clay, you had Eric Trump and Kash Patel and Alina Habba there on the stage with you guys, and what was the biggest win? Was it a success? How do you feel it went? And I always say, well, we got to talk to Dave. I just tracked the number of baptisms. That's my entire reason for doing the event. And people are like, really? Seriously? Yeah. I mean, that's my entire focus. And I track that stuff and I followed up on it, and that's all I care about. So if anybody out there, if you're watching this, you say, Clay, why would you carve out an hour at every single Reawaken America tour for either prayer and healing or a pastor to come up or praise and worship sessions? You know, some of the Reawaken tour events, we would spend 2 hours each day between praise and worship and messages being delivered from pastors. So on the same stage where Kash Patel is talking about saving America and Eric Trump, literally 20% of the lineup was pastors teaching the word of God, baptisms. So if you're watching the show today, recap here for the final time we have. To accept that your ideal and likely buyers do not know you exist. Step number 1. Step number 2, get in front of your ideal and likely buyers in a turnkey way. Step number 3, solve the problems for your ideal and likely buyers. Step number 4, you must develop a call to action. And step number 5, you have to measure what you treasure. And Dave, with time on the clock, I say everybody should go to thrivetimeshow.com and use promo code HISGLORY for a chance to win a backstage pass. Use promo code HISGLORY for a chance to win a backstage pass.
Well, I attest to that, Clay, because you did do that. I mean, there's lots of big speakers at this event. You carved out an hour for prayer, worship, baptisms. That was your number one priority. And that's why I believe God blessed those events and helped save this country. So Jesus is first, especially this week, Holy Week, every day and every minute, Christ wins.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called djconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and people that parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time. Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, again, with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know, you guys must be in your water or something, Clay, but boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 a.m. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. This is the creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology. You tell your group I was so impressed because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay, and what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call. And we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual. And we picked it up and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to 100% growth. We're like a full functioning company. It's great. We're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls. We've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious, they're fun, they're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? What level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly, incredibly encouraging all the time, and he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive, but I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. He keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something, and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that dollar clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday? Or what was the first time you thought, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business? Or was that something that you were maybe excited about or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you can't do this, you're going to fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa.